Hi friends, in astrology, in community and such. I didn't think I would do this here today, but maybe the incoming Mercury retro prompted me. And such a beautiful day that I would love to let you participate in by the ocean. Took a little bit of extra time here today to prioritize being out here and enjoy the gifts of nature. And so here's a bit of giving back to you from the astrological realm, which is at this point a bit of a limbo zone. Why am I saying this? Because this morning Venus went out of retrograde after having been since October the 5th in retro, like 6 weeks, now back in Libra. And one of the big pieces from that place is we have a choice, right? We have a choice. We can choose what really is in accordance with our values. It's not about orienting ourselves towards other people, what they do, what they would want from us, what would be more pleasing, nicer. But actually, if it doesn't really agree, and if it's not from the Scorpio level, your gut sense, your instinct tells you, this is not really you. No need to go for it. You can choose otherwise, and we probably have all learned a lot around this during the Venus retro phase. And I call the new Venus, which is now rising as a morning star in the east before the sun, also the goddess of the dawn. She's called the goddess of the dawn. It's the new feminine arising. And yes, we see that. We've seen that also in the midterm elections of the US, and we see it everywhere, which is wonderful. And so the qualities of goddess and the divine feminine are here to bless us and to bring us back into our hearts, back into beauty, peace, choice from love, and so on. So Venus is now forward again since this morning. And what else is on? This afternoon at 5:33 p.m. we have Mercury going retrograde, and I'll be going on until December the 6th. November 16th till December 6th is this present, almost here, Mercury retro phase. Where is it happening? What's going on? How does it affect everybody? So Mercury goes retro from mid Sagittarius on, actually only 1 degree away from the ascendant of the United States. So I'm wondering what kind of news we will be hearing and seeing from our neighbor down south regarding truth, regarding where is this going, and what's really the heart of the matter, right? And where's the vision? And where are old stories that we don't go by anymore, which is also the retro Sagittarius element. In other words, Sagittarius is a storyteller, and its shadow can be also telling you all kinds of fake stories and make up concoctions and fabrications just to convince you of a certain agenda. And so our job is to recognize that, where we could engage in that ourselves or get engaged with other stories, and then we're in for the ride, right? So our job is to be mindful and to notice what the mind is doing, rather than keeping the mind full and overloaded and overwhelmed, and rather being aware and going into the heart, going into consciousness and noticing, seeing the mind for what the mind is, and letting it be the messenger and the servant, rather than the boss and the master of our affairs. So Mercury retro can of course also bring out all sorts of fun synchronicities, insights, sudden realizations how certain things roll and come together in new ways. We might have some language magic going on, which happens often for me. That certain things all of a sudden sound, you know, when you combine it in new ways, you actually see different connections. So you probably see a bit of that in my writings. And yes, so Mercury retro. And then also, since yesterday, look where we are. We're by the ocean. Since yesterday, Mars is in Pisces until exactly New Year's Eve, 31st of December. And that's all about actually rolling with relaxation, with adaptation, with connections, with letting go, with being at ease, no stress, but actually surrender and surfing the waves rather than surfing the net, surfing the waves of love, the waves of life, and the waves of the soul. So yeah, this much for Mars in Pisces. Then the last also shift that's happening from tomorrow on is the nodes. The lunar nodes are going into Capricorn and Cancer. Capricorn, we don't exactly have a mountain here, we just have a cliff. So Capricorn is where the South Node is presently, just newly, actually from tomorrow on. And Cancer is where the North Node will be. Lunar nodes are called, or I call them, karmic pathways. So there is something in terms of balance, in terms of where is a pathway opening up and where is a release invited. In other words, a good metaphor is also the Chinese astrology. They call the North Node the dragon's mouth and the South Node the dragon's tail. And so presently the dragon's tail, as of tomorrow, will be for 1.5 years in Capricorn. In other words, we need to process and eliminate Capricornian shadow, which has already come up big time with Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, Saturn in Capricorn since December 2017. In other words, domination, dictatorial behavior, subordination, exploitation, abuse, you name it, controlling governments, all of that, and waste of energy. So energy that can be used much better otherwise. There's more to it, and you can read up my writings, of course, but you get the picture, I guess. And the North Node in Cancer, so here is the ocean again. Late Cancer has a Pisces undertone, which is very oceanic, embracing, loving, compassionate, and caring, gentle, a motherly energy. So giving ourselves and giving the world this loving, caring quality that is always available. When we activate our inner feminine, our inner motherly side, and maybe for ourselves, being caring, being compassionate, and coming from the heart. And I've like an example would be, for example, if you know, just because something you can work it, like you can work the system with Capricorn Aquarius, that doesn't mean it feels good. That doesn't feel it's nurturing. That doesn't mean it feels nurturing. So go where nurturing qualities are, like going to the ocean, as in here, and being gentle, being loving with the world and with all our children, whether we literally have biological children or not. And we might have pets or not, but we're taking care of Mother Earth and we're taking care of our inner child. So these are a few aspects of the North Node in Cancer, and welcoming ourselves to playful creativity rather than, you know, all that heavy duty lifting and resisting. So activating our own creativity coming from Leo also will be really good and give us energy to do the work that we're here to do. So this is it for my 10 minutes from the beach today, spontaneously. Take care. I mean it. Bye bye.